Welcome to my channel, this is Flying with Dan. In my first lesson we'll be learning the effects of the controls of the aircraft. The Icarus C-42 is the aircraft that I'm training in, and the main areas that we'll be focusing on is the elevator, aileron, rudders, the power, airspeed, elevators and trim, and the flaps. Airmanship is also a main topic we have to look at, basically looking at check codes, scan techniques like blind spots, and looking out for other aircraft in the sky which could be near you. I'm going to shut up now and actually play the video myself. As you'll see my instructor Tom, we're getting clearance to line up and wait on 27 at Gloucestershire Airport.
So 2 ready for departure.
Runway Tango, line up, runway 27.
Line up 27, Golf Romeo Tango. Perfect, just giving us clearance to line up. So we're looking to the left, looking to the right. There's nobody coming on the approach. The wind is coming from our left, just to confirm that. We will also just confirm the compass heading and confirm it just as we enter onto the runway as well. Are you happy?
Yeah, I'm happy.
Any last minute questions?
So if your
no,
right hand side is in the heli circuit.
Perfect.
Visual Golf Charlie Delta.
Lovely, so
Hotel Tango traffic following you out of the circuit.
rolling on to the whole point, well, rolling on to the runway, and just hold short to the runway.
One of the helicopter circuit is active, the red one's remaining in, the black one is leaving to the north. Right turn to the north, runway 27, cleared for takeoff, wind 2309.
Picture with the helis, clear for takeoff, runway 27, Golf Romeo Tango. Perfect, so we're 260, 270 on the heading, so we're slightly out, so that's okay, we'll manage that. And here we go, we're going to increase the RPM now. As we increase RPM, airspeed active, RPM max, acceleration normal, a little bit of left stick, right rudder to keep the aircraft down the runway, back pressure on the stick, lower the nose to build the speed up, and then we'll climb away. And there we are. Now we took off with flat because of the slight crosswind. Wanted to get off the ground at a slightly quicker airspeed, so we had a quick, nice clean break from the runway there. And brilliant. So what I can do now is just retrim the aeroplane for that departure. So looking to the left, looking to the right. And when you're ready, Dan, you can take control. There we are, so you have control. And as we enter the end, we'll get to the end of the runway, 10 degrees to the left now for me, so a little bit of left, a little bit of right stick, apologies, dear me, the other left, the right, there we are, and we can straighten it out now. That's brilliant, perfect, okay, dear me, first lesson I've already confused you, there we are. So yeah, so right turn out after departure, 10 degrees, just to keep clear of Imogen Barracks mainly, and also then the down Hatherley village just to our right.
Changed the Gloucester approach and they've given us basic service which we wanted. Also we carried on with our climb up to 2,500 feet and we did some safety checks as well for our T's and P's, which are temperatures and pressures.
What we'll do now then is we'll look at the effects and controls exercise. So as I said to you before, firstly we'll look at the elevator. So as I said to you before, during the air experience flight, we fly the aeroplane using the reference to the horizon. So there's a significantly better horizon than last time, I think, if I remember rightly. We've got a nice setup, you can see that horizon there. So what I would like to do is just take control, if that's right. Now we'll just trim the aeroplane out. So usually to set the aircraft up, I'm just going to turn that down now, right down, so we don't have to faff around with them anymore. We're 2,300 foot. We're level 70 knots, and the trim should be set up for around about there. I would have thought something like that. Anyway, so we're flying along, and in order to look at the elevator, so as I said to you before, if we pull the stick back, what happens to the aircraft then?
We pitch up.
We pitch up, we lose sight of the horizon. As well as losing sight of the horizon, we slow down, and we gain some form of a height, but a small amount, until the aircraft catches up with itself, and we just end up at a slower speed. If I just show you that now. So if we look to the right, look to the left, look above, because we are going to go above, and here we go. Pull that stick back now. As we pull the stick back, not doing anything else, apart from just pulling that stick back, you'll see the aircraft has a slightly yawing tendency. As is yawing tendency, the aircraft slows right down, you can see there, and then the nose drops. As the nose drops, we find that we just end up at a slower speed. And as you can also see, the aircraft has a yawing tendency to the left. Now, why do you think that yawing tendency to the left occurs?
Because... Gosh...
That's right. So it's something to do with the power. So basically, when we have a little bit of power, it creates a bit of a slipstream, and that slipstream also creates a bit of torque. So the aircraft, as you pull the stick back, just basically maintains in a slower speed. You can see there in a turn. So what we have to do when we actually go into that manoeuvre is we have to apply a little bit of right rudder and a counterbalancing force just to stop the aircraft from rolling off to the left. So as you can see there, so if I do that now more sensibly, so hold that stick back there, we end up just at a slower speed, as you can see, but maintaining level. So if I just hold that there, so you'll see 45 knots. We don't gain much height at all because we're now ending up at kind of 2,500 foot as opposed to 2,300. So we've gained slightly in height, but the main exercise in this instance, Dan, is to make sure that you appreciate that your stick controls your speed. Likewise, if I was to now just drop that nose, so here we go. So push that stick forward. As we push the stick forward, the aircraft builds up in speed. As the aircraft builds up in speed, it loses a little bit of height. If I hold that stick in that position, however, the aircraft forces that stick forward, and eventually the nose rises. You can see more of the horizon now.
Yeah.
As you see more of the horizon, I'm just going to force that stick forward again. You can see that what naturally actually does happen is the aircraft kind of forces that stick forward. We tend to lose a little bit of speed, but we tend to lose a bit of height, but the speed has picked up.
Yeah.
So the main crux of the exercise there is that the push the stick forward, the aircraft builds up in speed. It loses a little bit of height, but that's a secondary thing. You can see eventually that height just comes back to level, absolutely. Yeah. So you'll find that the aircraft stick controls speed. There we are. Okay, so if I now come back to level now and set the aircraft down. There we are. So Dan, if you want to take control for me, so you have it. You have all of those controls as well. So what I now want you to look at, without touching the pedals at the moment, you will have to in just a second. Yeah. What I want you to do now is just ease that stick back and slow the aircraft down. But before we do that, we're going to have a good look, make sure everything's okay. So what I'm going to do is run into somebody right there. So if we could look round, that's good. Fab. Okay, now gently just ease that stick back for me. As you ease the stick back, you lose sight of the horizon up ahead of you. The aircraft starts to lose speed, but gain a little bit of height, and then eventually it just ends up slowing down. You can feel that stick force and that pitch force, and that's basically saying to you, oh, you've set the aeroplane up for 70, you're wanting to fly it at 60, but I still want you to fly it at 70, and it kind of provides a counterbalancing force to get the aircraft back to what we describe as equilibrium. So equilibrium is something we'll look at in the next exercise, which is where all the forces are equal.
Okay, yeah.
But we can look at that another time. So you're doing brilliantly there, Dan. That's lovely. Well done. So 60 knots. You can see the aircraft pretty much maintains level, but it's just slower.
Yeah, makes sense.
Well done. Brilliant. Okay. And you can see that the aircraft's starting to yaw slightly to the left and roll to the left. So what I want you to do now is just roll those wings level for me. Nice work. And because we're looking at each control in separate, that was out of balance as we weren't applying that rudder. Nice work. Okay, so now what I want you to do is if we head towards Tewkesbury for me.
Yep.
Basic service, standard arrival, heading south, 43 miles, 27 right hand, 1007, Mr. Whiskey.
Perfect, and straighten it out. Lovely. And what I want you to do now is look below you, make sure everything's okay. I now want you to force the stick forward and see what happens. So as we force the stick forward and hold it there, apply that pressure and keep applying. So you see more of the horizon, the airspeed builds up, we lose height, and then eventually if you push that stick forward just to maintain, say, 80 knots, you'll find that the aircraft pitches up now, level at 80, and that's the stick controlling the speed. And as a secondary, also the height. So that's there. Okay. that make sense?
Yeah, makes perfect sense, yeah.
Brilliant. Okay, so we can now move on. So if I just quickly take control.
Yep.
So what we're now going to look at is roll.
Okay.
So doing exactly what I've just done there, but with a bit more of a demonstration and a bit more patter going through. So if, for example, then we wanted to go to the left, we will apply left aileron. So here we go. So if we look, I'm happy with that. So if we go left aileron and keep applying, as we keep applying, the aircraft rolls. Look at the nose then slips,
Yep.
and as it slips, it then yaws round. So you'll notice that the aircraft's wind coming from here is now pushing it round, and you can feel now that the aircraft is now building up in speed and losing height.
Yep.
So in order to stop that from occurring, we just roll wings level and just ease out that dive.
Cool.
Just like so. And that's good. And now we'll go from left to right, same principle applies, but look at the change in the attitude. Because you're going to be significantly higher than I am, the picture of your horizon completely changes. Okay, so if we look to the left, we look to the right, here we go. We're going to go to the right, displace, hold, roll, nose drops, slips. As it slips, it then yaws round. You can see that yaw now moving round, but we build up in speed and we lose the height, as you can see there.
Yeah.
So what we now need to do is we now need to recover from this position. So we go left stick, bring the wings level, and climb, well, not climb, but level off, get to some form of normality, and there we are. Right?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so what I want you to do now is I want you to go through that exact manoeuvre for me when you're ready. So if we look to the left, let's go to the left. So nicely displace those controls now. So left stick, hold the input down. Nice, hold the input. So the nose rolls. Keep the input going. It then slips. And here we go, watch it yaw round. There we are, that's it there, coming back round. So it's yawing around now, so that's good. Okay, spot on. Okay, now roll wings level for me. Very nice, well done. Okay, so that is good stuff. So what I'd like you to do now, Dan, is do exactly the same to the right for me, please. So I'm clear my side whenever you want to.
Cool.
So we can go right, stick, hold. Oh, there we are. Well done. That's just a bit of turbulence. So we got roll, we got the slip, and now we get the yaw. There it is. You can feel it kicking it round. Okay, beautiful. And now what I want you to do is recover that. So roll level. So left stick. Nice work, Dan. Well done. Perfect. Well done. That's good stuff. Okay. How you feeling?
Yeah, pretty confident.
Good. Okay. So what I want you to do now is I want you to climb up to 2,000 foot for me.
Right.
So we go for full power initially. Yeah, go for it. Lovely. And then we go into the climb. Beautiful. And hold it there. Brilliant. Now with that little bit of power, the aircraft wants to yaw around, so we just apply a little bit of right rudder just to counter that yaw. Nice work, that's good.
A bit too much.
Yeah, just a little bit, but that's good. It's just a case of practice, seeing what works for you, so that's great, lovely. Well done.
Couple of hours, 0 Juliet, Gloucester Bridge, good afternoon, basic set. Service, Gloucester Juliet.
Fantastic.
Golf Alpha Charlie, departing.
Okay. And we can level off now. Okay. So, what I now want to do is turn, so we've done roll, slip, so we've done okay, perfect. So, what we're now going to do is look at yaw. So if I just take control, if that's right. So this is the fun bit. So the reason behind that is we've got to be reasonably quick with the aircraft. Just because you won't necessarily notice the yaw unless it happens reasonably sharpish. So if I straighten it out now, so we're level, we're flying at kind of 70-ish knots at the moment, looking to the left, looking to the right. So I'm just going to apply left yaw. So what will happen is the aircraft will yaw, then it'll roll, then it'll slip, and then you'll get a further effect of yaw from that. So, you ready to go?
Yeah.
So if you just watch the nose, what happens when I apply that rudder pressure? So here we go. We're going to apply left rudder, it yaws, it rolls, it slips, and there we are. How you feeling, right?
Yeah.
So I'll reduce that power so we don't go too far with that one, because that one you can, if you really want to push it, you can actually get it to kind of do this all the way around quite quickly in a bit of a what I'd call one of those, you know, those propeller leaf things that goes, which is quite good fun, but not for today now. So if I just show you that, so that was to the left. Let's do one to the right now. So here we go, a little bit more gentle. So we go right, yaw, slip, roll, and a roll and slip, and then it yaws round. There we are. Reduce that power and come level now. Okay. So let's climb back up to 2000. Just get back up there. Sort that out. Perfect. So yeah, that's the yaw sorted once we do that. But once you get to 2000, you get your own student practice at that one, and you can be as overzealous or as calm as you like with it, just as long as you appreciate that it goes yaw, roll, slip, and then the further effects. And it's amazing how so many of these controls all kind of end up with the same motion at the end of it. So, right, okay, so Dan, you've got control there.
Yep.
So what I want you to do, so don't worry about the stick at the moment, I can do that. I just want you to utilise the rudder and therefore the yaw either side. So if we look at left rudder or right rudder, either way, let me know which one you're going to do. So left, go for it. So left rudder, yeah, well done, lovely. So yaws, rolls, slips, brilliant, Dan. Okay, and I got control.
Cool.
Nice work, well done, brilliant. So you can see how quickly it can escalate. Brilliant stuff, well done. So we'll climb back up, and you can see how quickly we lose height as well. So if you want to lose height real quick,
just do that.
Yeah, bang on, absolutely. You find that the speed builds up pretty quickly as well, so there's techniques we can use to lose the height, which we'll look at some point. One being the side slipping, and also side slipping turns and stuff like that, so we can look at that at some point. So I'm just going to continue that climb, looking up, looking to the left, looking to the right, and levelling off there. Okay, so we've got strength and services just up there as well. Right, okay, so when you're ready,
to the right.
Yeah, go for it. Perfect. So right rudder, roll, slips, and it yaws back round. Okay, and I've got control. Perfect. Well done. Nice work. And you can see, if I just show you, if I just let it breeze on through, you can see that the aircraft does eventually come back through.
It recovers itself.
Yeah, absolutely. So the aircraft has natural inbuilt stability. I'll actually show you that now as well. So if the aircraft is set up for, say, 70 knots, which you've done a brilliant job in setting it up for. So let's say we go to push that stick forward now. Here we go. Pushing that stick forward, building that speed up, and then you go, oh, this doesn't feel quite right. You go, okay, fine, I'm just going to let go of the controls. And it kind of goes, yeah, okay. Oh, now I'm getting a bit slow. So here we go, feels like your stomach's going through your mouth now. Ooh, there we are. So you can drop that nose, let that speed build up, and every single time it does that, it dampens the oscillation.
Okay.
So eventually the aircraft will just continue like this until it levels out. So it's got what we call positive inherent stability. Now, again, I get bored of this really quickly, and also it stops you from feeling slightly nauseous as well. So as it comes up, what I do is I kind of counteract that balance and that pitch just by applying a little bit of counter force, and that should sort the aircraft out, maybe slightly retrim it just a little bit. There we are. from a Tango 3 miles.
Golf Romeo Tango, report descending dead side.
Report descending dead side, Golf from a Tango.
And that's about it for exercise 4 about effects of controls. I didn't include all of the flight in today's video, just due to the fact that the video had been an hour long, and that's a bit, long for a first video. But do not worry, because the stuff that I actually took out was most of the boring stuff compared to the stuff that was in the video. It was to do with flaps, trim, and airspeed. But now you see us going over the top of Gloucester Airport in the overhead at 2,000 feet. At the time of flight as well, it was very windy and with a crosswind on landing too.
That's brilliant. Lovely work. So he's asked us to report overhead.
Okay.
So we will absolutely do that.
Romeo Tango, taxi Sky Park, cross runway 82.
Taxi to Sky Park, cross runway 22, go my Tango.
Papa Tango, Tango departure north, cleared to take off cross runway 27.
Standard helicopter departure to the north, clear for takeoff cross runway 27, go back Tango.
Okay.
Charlie, depart.
So if we reduce that power to idle now,
Charlie basic, sir.
and we can start to descend. Golf from a Tango overhead descending dead side.
Romeo Tango, report downwind.
Report downwind, Golf from a Tango. Okay, so if we start to descend now to the right as well.
Gloucester approach, student Golf Bravo Charlie Juliet November, request basic service. Student Golf Bravo Charlie Juliet November, Gloucester approach class mission.
He's straightening it out now.
PA 28 Bristol to Bristol, currently 5 nautical miles northeast of Abergavenny, routing to Ledbury, expecting Ledbury times 5 to 6, altitude 2,500 feet, request basic service.
Just drop that nose for me now, we can allow the aircraft to descend. So a little bit of turbulence, that's alright. Lovely, Dan, and then what we'll do is we'll come back across the runway in just a second.
Yep.
So we want to descend to 1,000 foot, so you can let that nose drop a little bit more. That's brilliant. And now we can turn in. That's spot on. And then increase that power now for me. A little bit of back pressure now. Just as we get to about 1,000 foot, that's good. Straighten it out now. Straighten it out, that's good. Brilliant. If we increase that power up to 4,200, that's good. About there, that's right. Lovely. Awesome. So look to the left, look to the right. Okay, and then we can turn downwind now. Okay, and as we turn downwind, you'll get a little bit of right rudder back pressure as well as we maintain that turn. That's lovely, Dan, well done. Brilliant. Spot on. Beautiful. Golf Romeo Tango downwind, runway 27.
Golf Romeo Tango, report final.
Report final, Golf Romeo Tango. Okay, fab, so if we now reduce that power, and we start to come in on the approach, so if we now reduce that power to idle, and we turn in, and we let that nose drop, we want to be 60, that's good, so if we put a stage of flap in now, keep that turn going, that's brilliant. Lovely. If we go for a little bit of power now, that's nice work.
Number 3, well clear to northeast, so we're going to go en route. Thanks so much, speak to you later.
000 speeches.
Nice work, Dan. Lovely. Lovely, so we reduce that power to idle now.
2 Juliet Echo Foxtrot here on the tower apron. With Yankee 1010, request taxi.
2 Juliet Echo Foxtrot, sure,
Yeah, this is good. Nice work.
For altitude.
Okay, done. So if you want to follow me through now, because there's a little bit of a crosswind on the landing, I think there might be a little bit more of a technical challenge. From here, Tango final 27.
Romeo Tango, Romeo 27, clear to landing 240 degrees 8.
Clear to land 27, Golf Romeo Tango. Okay, so on that landing, so if I take, actually I'll take the bottom bit here, so that'll be fine. If you want to hold the sponge, that's good. So we're going to set the aircraft up. We've got one stage of flap on, a little bit of a crosswind now. I don't know whether you can just about judge that, but we've got a little bit of angle off to the left, so, and that's just countering for the crosswind. So we're just going to maintain that counter for the moment. Then what we're going to do is kick the aeroplane straight in just a second. So we manage that by going right rudder, just as we kick the aeroplane straight, and then a tiny bit of left stick just as we come into land, and we apply pressure for both, and then we go for reducing that power, applying that back pressure as we land, holding that back pressure in, holding the stick pressure, and land the aeroplane just like so, and hold it there. So it's quite a technical challenge with a little bit of a crosswind, but you've really got to hold that back pressure in. If you don't hold the back pressure in, you'll find that the aeroplane will just kind of land quite hard. So, and you just got to take it right to the shack. Take it right to the shack, off from the Tango.
After a fun time in the skies, we actually are back down on the ground via 27 at Gloucester Airport. Throughout the flight then, we actually did exercise 4 effects of controls, and we managed to do elevator, aileron, rudders, power, airspeed, elevator trim, and flaps. I learned what all the controls did, and learned how to recover if something went wrong. So now I've done exercise 4 in high detail, the next lesson will be about exercise 6, which is straight and level flying. In the next video, you'll see me up in the skies once again doing exercise 6, which is straight and level flying. So I really hope you've actually enjoyed my first video on Flying with Dan, and I tend to have lessons every single week, so that means I can actually produce a lot of videos. I'll leave you alone now, but the last thing to say, if you have enjoyed it, please subscribe to me and maybe give me a cheeky like. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.